So we're going to put it on 4K so that it is full 4K. And this little button next to it brings it out where that you can actually have your camera on your main screen. Pretty sweet. I did not think I'd be back with another Wyze video this soon, but here I am. Inside of this package is the Wyze Cam Pan V4, which is the first 4K Wyze camera. Now, as you know, about a week ago, they released a similar looking camera that was the Wyze Cam Duo Pan, or the Wyze Duo Pan Cam, something like that. But this is the Wyze Cam Pan V4. If I'm not mistaken, I actually did a video on the Wyze Cam Pan, the Wyze Cam Pan V2, and the Wyze Cam Pan V3, and now the Wyze Cam Pan V4. As always, this product was not sent to me by Wyze, but I purchased this myself. So let's do like we always do. We're gonna get on the overhead rig, we're gonna unbox it, we'll go through the setup process, and I'll show you some clips directly from this 4K Wyze camera, the Wyze Cam Pan V4. Click like, click subscribe, indulge in your life at indulgeclothing.com for the merch, and let's check out the Wyze Cam Pan V4. All right, let's open up. Yeah. Wyze Cam Pan V4 4K color night vision. They're about to probably do this with all of their cameras, but this is the first one. So as you can see, you got pan and tilt and zoom, indoor outdoor use, 4K night vision. The bottom just has some of the specs. It is IP65 with Wi-Fi 6. You can see Wyze Pan 4 is the model there. The back shows you this actually mounted basically upside down. You're able to invert the camera like you can with all Wyze cameras, and you can see a difference in the classic night vision and the color night vision here. The side goes over all of the specs. Now you get the 4K video resolution, 360 by 180 degree pan and tilt range, AI powered motion tracking, IP65 weather resistance, color night vision, integrated spotlight, two-way audio, privacy mode, which is basically where this will turn down so it's not filming you, and 24/7 recording with an SD card. See those two asterisks? Now this does support up to a half a terabyte, so 512 gigs of storage. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, how much 4K storage can I fit on an SD card? Here's your little pop-up as an example, but essentially a 256 gig would give you just over 24 hours of continuous recording. So a 512 would give you basically 2 days worth of recording. Yeah, 4K eats up a lot of footage. Just the Wyze logo on the top, and this side just mentions what's in the box as well as the apps that it works with. So let's open it up. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully I have another sticker. I have a nice blank spot over here for it. I like their new packaging. I can say I don't see a sticker currently. That's sad. Nothing in the box. And so let's open this one up. Come on, come on. Oh no, I don't think I got a sticker. No, that's so lame. Aw. Mounting guide. The much more lengthy, wow, quick start guide here, which I'll go over most of this with you. And then this is the camera itself. So I'm gonna set this to the side. Don't forget the bracket. That must be, oh, that's what this is. So let me take that out, and then take that out. Then we got the bracket. Nothing else in the box. I did not get a sticker. Very bummed. But this bracket would allow you to mount this however you may need. It, of course, just goes onto the bottom here. There should be a screw in this package. Let's take a look in here real quick. Gonna guess this is USB-C. We've got a nice little Wyze power brick. And there's our screws, mounting screws for the mount, as well as the screw you need for that as well. And lastly, get it from this side, is our nice flat, yeah, that's it for that box. And it is USB-C. Yeah, so that's our USB-C cable. And of course, this is a closer look at the camera. Now it does have the attached cable here, so that's something to keep in mind. This little protectors to help protect the USB-C port. You've got your speaker back here, and then this is the front camera lens. Wow, that actually looks a lot better. Got a nice little Wyze logo there, but your typical camera now, your micro SD card goes here, as well as that's your setup. And as you can see, you can rotate this all around. Now this whole thing spins like so. This looks up, down, etc. So now, just like I always do, we're going to get an SD card in here. We're going to set this up, show you that process, and show you some clips directly from this 4K camera. All right, so before we get fully started here, let me pop open this bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop an SD card in here. You're going to need a micro SD card that mentions that it is U3 for UHS high speed class 3 or V30, which is video speed class 30. This will give you the 30 frames per second so that you won't have drop frames and errors on your 4K video. This SD card does not have either one of those, and also 32 gigs would give you like an hour and a half of 4K recording, but I'm just going to pop this in here for now just so that I have an SD card so I can show you what the settings look like so you know how to set up your continuous recording. But do make sure that you have the proper SD card if you're wanting to get 24/7 good 4K recording. Now, all I have to do is take my USB-C cable here that's already plugged into the wall, plug it in here. It clicked. Now, my little camera will boot up. You can see the red light there. Let me show you this as well while this is booting. Ready to connect. So once you've installed your Wyze app, just open your Wyze app.
Ready to connect.
And this is what the Wyze app looks like. As you can see, I have a few devices offline and everything. All I have to do to add this is, there's a little plus sign up here, then device, then it asks you what kind of device you have. So you say cameras, then you have a pan and tilt camera, and there it is. Oh wait, I think I need to update my app. Hold on. Yes, there is an update, so I'm going to update this, and then I'll have the option for the
Ready to connect.
Wyze Cam Pan V4. One moment. All right, our app is updated, so now we'll select open. And with the app open, plus in the top right, device. Then we can say cameras. Then we can say pan and tilt cameras. And then we have the Wyze Cam Pan V4.
Ready to connect.
The red light is flashing, as you can see there. And it is saying ready to connect. So I'm just going to say begin setup. I heard ready to connect. Next. And now it's searching for the device. Since this device is powered on, my phone will see it, and then it'll be able to connect in just a moment. Now pick your Wi-Fi network. You know what you got to do there.
Connection is in progress. Please wait.
And now it's going through the process to connect this camera to my Wi-Fi. Only takes a moment. Let me just set this here, and it'll probably be done by the time I walk away.
Setup completed.
As what I say. Yeah, you've successfully paired your Wyze Cam Pan V4. Now it's going through setup options that you have. We're just gonna skip those, and this is where you can set up a waypoint. So this is the default viewing location. Also, not really something I need, but I don't really have a way to get out of this, so I have to click continue, and we'll just let it calibrate its device, and then I'll show you afterwards. So now it wants me to set my waypoint location. It's basically centered currently, so I'm just gonna actually leave it about where it is. There we go. Oh, set. Now I'm gonna give it the same name. Now this is a subscription. You don't need that. You don't need that for SD card recording. You just need that for cloud and AI stuff. And some things to try, I'll just skip that. And of course a firmware upgrade, so we'll update that now. And once this is done, then I'll go through and show you the settings, as well as some clips from the Wyze Cam Pan V4, the first 4K Wyze camera. All right, the firmware upgrade's done. And as you can see, well, you can't tell because you can't tell that I'm moving, but I'm going left to right and it's tracking me. Firmware's done. Hey, I got my badge there. I just didn't get the real sticker. So there it is. This is the Wyze Cam Pan V4 settings, the camera. And the first thing I'm gonna do is slide over to here and disable this smart track. This is what's making this move all around. Also, let me turn my volume off. Really bad view there. Let's angle it up here. So this is a look at the main screen that you will see on your Wyze Cam Pan V4. Now, of course, the pan control is just that. Allows you to turn left, right, look down, look up, etc. You know that, and there's your saved home location. Gives you a little image. The SD card is where all of your SD card recordings will go. This is where you can easily scroll through to see something that may have happened in the past. Of course, take photo just takes photo. Record just records a video of what you're currently viewing. Siren releases a siren. We went over smart track. The pan scan just makes it pan back and forth over the yard, for example. And album would just be your album of saved videos, photos, etc. And your privacy mode, if I enable that, just makes it look straight down. And you can turn it back off. Now, on the main screen here, you have a few options. Now you can, of course, go into full screen mode here, like so. We'll skip the tutorial, and this is what the full screen mode looks like. On the screen, you have the option for your microphone and to unmute the device. And then in the top, you have your auto, 4K, 360p that looks like, and auto. So we're going to put it on 4K so that it is full 4K, and this little button next to it brings it out where that you can actually have your camera on your main screen. Pretty sweet. You can go back into it like so. Now that's essentially it for the main home screen. We'll go back into the camera. Now below this main screen is just your events, and to get into your settings, it's up here in the top right where you can see all of your settings. So you got your detection settings, where you can have detection zones, motion triggering, set your sensitivity, etc. Event recordings. This is where you tell it to record either motion, sound, both, etc. SD card. This is where you'll want to come to make sure your continuous recording is set. As you see, it has a checkbox in continuous recording, and it will fill up this 32 gig card in about an hour and a half. A half terabyte 512 gig SD card would probably give you 2-ish days of 24/7 recording at full 4K, in case you're wondering. Then you've got your notifications. This is where you can manage those. Your pan controls. Some of this will be locked down, like person, vehicle, etc. will be locked down to their subscription service, as well as you can do a schedule. Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, wow, pan cycles through your waypoints and will stop for 10. Oh, that's awesome. Nicely done. All right, spotlight settings. Now, this is something that I personally do not use. You always want to have the level in the highest brightness, but instead of auto, I just put it on manual because I don't want this thing kicking on and off all the time, at least inside where I'm going to be using it. Then your alarm settings, you can enable these where that if this camera hears a smoke or CO alarm, it will alert you on your phone. Great little feature. And then your advanced settings, where you can have your night vision settings set to auto on or off. Your infrared lights, you can have those on or off. Your camera status light, which is this little red light there, you can toggle that away. And then of course your timestamp, your Wyze logo, and to record sound. Down here is your animation sharing, just extra things that are only inside the Wyze app. Animations is like where this camera would trigger a Wyze bulb to cut on, for example. Now let's go back and let's take some photos. So let me set this up. This is a 4K photo. Wow, what's up? All right, footage saved to device. Now I'm gonna record video here. This is a daytime audio video test on the Wyze Cam Pan V4. A 4K Wyze camera. Wow. A 4K Wyze camera. Wow. And then stop that. And then one of the few things left to test would be the speaker. Let me go in another room and use this microphone to see how loud the speaker sounds. This is a speaker test on the Wyze Cam Pan V4. And there's a speaker test. So the last thing to really try, let me try to get a nighttime audio video clip. And this is a nighttime audio video test on the Wyze Cam Pan V4 in 4K without the spotlight. All right, guys, and that'll do it for the Wyze Cam Pan V4 setup and review. Now, for me, I've used every single Wyze camera that's came out. I think the only one I did not buy, was the Floodlight Pro and the dual cam doorbell. Outside of that, I've bought every single Wyze camera. I've used every single Wyze camera. And the pan cameras were always one of my favorites. And this one is even better. Whether you're going to use it outside, it's going to be amazing with a 4K resolution to be able to possibly get tags or more detailed facial information if somebody was at your house or in your yard. And if you're using it indoors, it's going to be great to get every detail if you see something go missing or if someone's rummaging through a drawer or something like that. I personally love the pan cameras and actually had 2 of the old V3s, one in my old kitchen and one in my old living room, just because you could move them around, you could look with them, and they were just the best cameras. Now, I know about a week ago I said the Pan Cam Duo is the best. I mean, it still is. If you have a big enough room, Pan Cam Duo, 100% the way to go. I also kind of think for outdoors, Pan Cam Duo is the best just because you can get 2 views. But for like your driveway, you should want 4K. Absolutely. Kind of the same for indoors. It just depends on your preference. You are going to eat through an SD card on these because you're not going to get all of that history because of the big file size of a 4K video. So that's something to think about. But at the end of the day, the 4K picture quality is stellar. The software is stellar as always. The speaker sounds amazing. It's one of the best indoor and outdoor wired cameras that you can get. So I would highly, highly recommend for either use the Wyze Cam Pan V4. definitely 2 big thumbs up. So as all of you know, they do not partner with me, so this was not sent to me by Wyze. I bought this myself, but I do have one of their products linked down below if you would like to buy a Wyze Cam Pan V4 for yourself. And I think that'll do it for today's video. Click like, click subscribe, indulge in your life at indulgeclothing.com for the merch. See you in the next one. Deuces.